Everybody, cheers. It's coffee talk. Mm. I am coming to you live on Facebook over here and Instagram over here. And later on, this will be on YouTube. So, wherever you are, whenever you're listening, thanks for joining. Today, I wanted to chat a little bit about how to know what to choose. Um, if you think about it, when you were a kid, how much were you actually given the ability to choose something for yourself? And how much were you directed or even maybe unspoken? There were projections and expectations for you. Maybe you had to follow in your parents' footsteps or, your other siblings, and be a good little boy or girl or whatever. And it didn't give you the chance to choose anything. When we choose, it's one of our greatest tools to gain awareness. So, like, not even trying to get it right, but just choosing to choose gives you awareness. How does that work? Well, how many of you are standing at the precipice of something that you would like to choose, but you don't want to make the wrong choice, or you don't know what the right choice is? So you don't choose anything at all. And that leaves you in this kind of stuck space. Hi, thanks for joining. Um, yeah. So wherever you are in choices in life, in every day, getting up, what are you going to wear? How do you choose what you're going to wear? Being a jewelry designer, a lot of people say they never change their jewelry. They wear the same thing every day. They either don't take it off or they only wear the same thing. And where's the choice in that? You might choose to wear the same thing, and eat the same thing and do the same thing every day. But is that from actually choosing what's going to create your most joyful experience here? Or is it going to just kind of get you through and, okay, I made it through another day? How do you really want to live? And what if there's no right or wrong? You can wear the same jewelry every day. You can wear the same clothes every day. Just wash them. um, anyway, so if you were never given the choice when you were young and growing up, learning how to choose and choosing is a muscle that you need to build. We all have the ability. And there are certain places where choosing is going to be easier because you're not going to be in your head about what's right and what's wrong. And if we could just spread that over to the other areas where we get in our heads and just have more ease, um, that would change everything. So, I'm going to share a couple of tools that might help you get out of your head so that you can choose whether it's right, whether it's wrong, and just have a different experience. So, first of all, what if there was no right or wrong? I know that seems like a weird concept. Most people have navigated all of their life from right and wrong, trying to be right, trying not to be wrong. So let's just clear all of that energy because I can feel a lot of like energy coming up. So everywhere you have learned how to decide what to do, based on what you think is right and what you think is wrong, or not wanting to be wrong and wanting to be right, that keeps you from being in awareness? Will you destroy and uncreate it? And I'm going to use the access clearing statement. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, ovads, and beyond. To change some of the energy. Awareness has nothing to do with right or wrong. Awareness is going to give you, will this choice expand your life or will it contract your life? And most people, well, I can't even say most people. What is it that you would like to choose? If you could choose anything, do you think that you would choose to destroy the world, or would you choose to make it a better place? And so if your choices are more expansive for you, it's going to just create a more expansive world. It's not going to destroy the world. Contrary to the way most people think. They think, well, if I'm happy, then, other people aren't going to be happy. No. Your happiness is inspiration for other people, and it sends ripples out into the universe of being happy. So if you chose things that would add to your happiness, and that included the people around you and the world, it just created this lighter, expansive, happy space. Oops. It was a spam call. Do you guys get those? Anyway, lost my train of thought. So choosing lighter and happier. If you choose that, that's what will show up as your future, lighter and happier. And if you choose the heavy, contracted, pit in your stomach, if you choose things that feel like that, that's what your life ends up feeling like. So you can choose anything, and you can change your choices every 10 seconds. So let's say you have an appointment. You make an appointment with somebody, and then maybe you do it on the phone, you hang up, and you're like, oh, and it creates this weirdness in your world. You can ask yourself some questions. Okay, do I need to change this appointment? What else is possible? What am I aware of? And I've actually had this occur. I remember the first time it occurred a long time ago. I was using the Access tools and I made this appointment, and it felt really heavy when I hung up, and I thought, oh, wow, what is that? And then I looked at my calendar and I had another appointment that I didn't realize that couldn't change. And so I thought, can I call the person back? Like, this was a business thing. I didn't want to look stupid. The normal stuff comes up. Pot and pock that, make a different choice. And so I called the person back and said, actually, that time doesn't work. Can we do this instead? And they're like, oh, I'm so glad that you called, because that didn't work for me either. So what if when it's heavy for you, it's not necessarily a bad thing for the other people involved as well? When it's light, it contributes to the whole. And we tend to think that, well, I can't choose for myself. I have to just think of other people. But it's not about excluding other people or excluding you. What if we included everything in our awareness? What if we included ourselves and our own lightness, as well as the people that it affects in the world that we know about and the world at large? And it's not cognitive. You don't have to sit there and think about it because awareness is super wispy. It's not concrete, and it's this energetic presence that when you pay attention to it and ask questions, you can navigate through following that lightness. Oh, and now I know why I wore these feather earrings today. These are my real feathers dipped in gold. And I wear them to remind myself to be lighter than a feather. When you're lighter than a feather, and every choice you make is lighter than a feather, you know you're choosing what's going to expand your life. How many of you have been faced with something where it just didn't sit well with you? It didn't necessarily feel heavy, but it got you in your head circling, 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 trying to figure out something. Usually, when we have that sense and we can't stop thinking about it, it could be that there's a truth and a lie attached together. And so it makes it like we're aware of something and we're trying to figure out what, like, something's not right here and we're trying to figure it out. Rather than going in circles, you can ask the question, what part is true and what part is a lie, spoken or unspoken? You just ask the question and go about your day doing whatever. And the awareness will drop in, whether it's a few minutes later or half a day or the next day. It's not a linear time thing, but it will come if you're curious and you're in question. And then everything will smoothen out. Because when you acknowledge what's true, even if it's not a pleasant thing or a positive thing, when you acknowledge what's true, everything gets lighter. Everything gets lighter. So let's say I don't know, you're trying to get a job and everything looks like you're going to get the job, but maybe the night before you're spiraling in your head and maybe they're just leading you on. And so you're aware of this, like something's not quite right. And maybe you don't get the job. But if you ask, like, what is this awareness? What am I aware of? What is true? What is a lie? You'll start to get the space, and it doesn't really matter whether you get the job or not when you acknowledge what's true and what's a lie, that funky energy goes away and you're able to keep choosing and move forward. It's not like, we make one choice and that's it. Every day is choosing. When you get up in the morning, what do you do? Do you choose to brush your teeth? Or do you think you just do it? You're actually choosing, whether you think you're choosing or not. But a lot of times we think we don't have choice and we just have to do certain things. What if everything in your life you were more willing to pay attention to? What am I choosing here? Does this work for me? What other choices are available that I've never considered? And notice this space that opens up when you ask the questions. And be willing to choose and make a wrong choice. And change your choice and choose again. Somebody had a question earlier. What was it? Oh, well, if you want to spend time with me in person, you have to take one of my classes. So, Let's see. So there's the heavy and light of navigating. And then another thing that you can use, another tool that you can use to expand your awareness of choices is to look at your choices with the energy of what it creates in the future by asking a question like, if I choose this, what will my life be like in 5 years? And if I don't choose this, what would my life be like in 5 years? So you get the energetic, subtle differences and choose the thing that feels more like what you'd like your life to be like. And this tool is really, really precise, even though we don't know the details of how it can show up. Um, Choosing for the lightness and expanding it into the future so that you can't get in your head about what the details are. It's amazing and brilliant. So, one of the first times that I used it for something really big, I was actually afraid to use this tool. And I will tell you, this was many years ago. Probably, I don't know, many, many years ago. And I was married. I was like married for 15 years, um, or longer, probably closer to the 20 because I got divorced after 20 years. So I knew that if I asked, if I choose to leave this marriage, what will my life be like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? I asked. I knew that if I asked that, that I would become aware of other possibilities that I wasn't willing to be aware of before. And when I finally got the courage to do it, even though to this reality it seemed like leaving a marriage was a bad thing or a wrong thing, it was so expansive. It was like it blew me away. And then I asked, okay, well, if I choose to leave this relationship, what will my kids' life be like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? And my partners, I asked for everybody, and it was actually light for all of us. But I had to start with me because you have to start with you in your life. What you choose, you're the only one who can choose. And if you're willing to really look at the energy of the future of your choices, you can navigate an amazing, beautiful, like continually expanding life if that's what you choose. And you can also just choose easy, comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with that. What if you allowed yourself to really look at what it is that you desire? Not through other people's eyes, not through the projections, the expectations that other people have, but really, what is it that you would like? And give yourself space to look, to indulge. So when I asked that question, and I knew that leaving my marriage was going to be far more expansive than staying in it, it still took me about a year before I actually made the changes. But I knew, and I knew that I would know when to make those choices. So, what if you could know for yourself when? You could know what to choose and you could know when to choose simply by asking the questions, becoming aware of the energetic response, and knowing when to make those moves. Practice with small things. Practice where to go to lunch, where to go to dinner, um, who to talk to, who to call, who to um, go out with, who to, where to go. You want to go on a hike, which direction do I drive, this way or that way? Many times you can avoid all kinds of traffic and car accidents and things if you're willing to be in the question and follow your awareness of what's light. It's amazing how the universe kind of gifts you this um, space of possibilities when you're willing to ask and choose. So I don't see any questions. Anybody have any questions? Trusting your awareness, it takes some practice, you know, and it's really not listening to necessarily other people unless those people are empowering you. So it's a journey you're going to have to take, um, but it is very rewarding. So, what would it be like for you to practice on the little things and then practice on the big things? And if you mess up or it doesn't work out the way you would like, what if you didn't judge yourself and you just chose again and chose again and chose again? Because every choice creates awareness. Every choice creates awareness. So, what can you choose today to open up greater possibilities than you can imagine? I ask this all the time. You can ask this every day. You can ask this every hour and open up greater possibilities if that's what you choose. How does it get better? All right. Thanks for joining, and I will see you again next week. Oh, wait. I have a call coming up tomorrow around this same time, standing on the precipice. So, my friend Donna and I are going to be facilitating this for all of you who are standing on the precipice of something, whatever it is. And it's like this place where maybe you're not ready to take the leap yet, or what's holding you back from taking the leap. I don't know. We're going to explore this area because a lot of us are standing on a precipice of something big, and we would like to explore the possibilities of having it be easier and taking the leap together. Come and join us.